What's up? This is Steve Kortyka. I'm at the Litchfield Jazz Camp 2025, having a great time working with the students, and today we're going to share a mini lesson that I've worked on in previous years and a little bit this year with some of the combo students on the Tritone Substitution blues progression. In this video, I'm going to be using one of my favorite arpeggiation techniques to teach you the chord changes as I play through them. But to start with, I'm just going to improvise a melodic arpeggio sequence across the Tritone Substitution blues progression so you can hear what that sounds like, and then I will back it up and explain chord by chord what I'm thinking about as I'm playing this. Check it out. So let's pull up the chord progression here and let's have a look at what's going on. The first three measures are pretty much exactly the way they appear in the blues progression, but when we get to this fourth measure, we're going to be using the tritone sub of our C7, which is our F sharp 7 chord. And this little shape is what I was using for the whole chord progression. But if you use this shape, you can actually play it off of any of the chord tones or even non-chord tones of the chord that you're playing. The only rule is that we play chord tones below after you do the triplet. So checking out what this sounds like as you go up the F sharp 7 chord. So basically I started on the 7th, arpeggiated all the way down to the root, back to the 7th, and then I went up to the root, arpeggiated down to the 3rd, back up to the root, 3rd, down to the 5th, back up to the 3rd. So this is an exercise I do with a specific chord so that I can just flush out how the chord feels to play. Looking at the 5th and 6th bars, we have our F dominant 7th on tenor. And then here, I like to play the tritone sub of F and play a B dominant 7th chord. This substitution isn't super common, but it again allows you to hear what that tritone sub sounds like in relationship to that chord. So now we're on C7, the 1 chord. And then here, instead of the dominant 6 or the minor 2-5 going to the 2 chord, in the 8th measure, I like to think of the tritone sub of that A dominant 7th that typically appears in that bar. Then for the last 4 bars, what I like to think about is a secondary dominant in the 9th bar, a D7, going to D flat 7, which is the tritone substitution of what would normally appear as a G7. And then the 11th and 12th bars are going to be C7, and then again the D flat 7, which is the tritone sub of the 5 chord. So you'll notice throughout this whole demonstration, I'm using different inversions of the arpeggio and the melodic arpeggio idea. And that's the beauty of this exercise. You don't have to play it any specific way. The only rule is really that you're sticking to chord tones and keeping that triplet at the top. What I want to do now, I'm going to improvise another chorus We're going to put the notes on the screen and you can follow along with what I'm playing, and hopefully you can start to see how some of these arpeggios can help you in your solos, and also how the tritone sub fits into the blues progression in an awesome way. So you can hear in there too, I'm still kind of working this out myself, so there's some things that always come up whenever I do this exercise that help me find new little variations in what is a very familiar chord progression. Another cool thing that you might notice as you play through this is that I tried to use voice leading. I would either go up or down in direction as I'm playing these arpeggios, and this is another just really cool thing that this exercise has to offer. Hopefully you got some ideas about how to approach the tritone substitution and use it over the blues in your next practice session. Thanks for checking this video out, and stay tuned for many more to come.